guys! Welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making another delicious and easy family style casserole. And it's going to be pizza, mac, and cheese. So come along and let's get started making this easy family favorite. So the story behind this particular casserole, I was scrolling through an old copy of Taste of Home. You've probably heard of it. A lot of times their magazines are found in the checkout stand of your grocery store. Sometimes you can get a subscription to their magazine. But usually it's based around easy recipes. A lot of times it will be recipes using mixes and things that maybe your grandma would make or your mom. So very comfort classics. This specific recipe started out originally with a box of macaroni and cheese, and we know that that's not very ketogenic. So I instead replaced that by making a layer of faux pretend macaroni and cheese using riced cauliflower. So that is going to be the base layer of the casserole that we are going to make, and then it's going to have pizza toppings on top. So yay, pizza and casserole. So come along. So I have my ground beef browning, and I'm going to add my chopped onion and my chopped pepper. And it's only about a third of a small onion, so it's a very small amount of onion. I've just cut it up really small. Same with the green pepper. It is a very small amount, and I've just chopped it very finely. So I'm going to let that saute a little bit in with our ground beef and soften a bit. Everything has sauteed together well. I'm going to drain this just a little bit. Turn off my heat. Okay, so I just put my ground beef in and pepper onion mixture in a bowl because we're going to use the skillet that we just used to saute our cauliflower. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter to our skillet, and yes, I just used it, so it's not dirty. And we are going to saute our cauliflower. And we want our butter to get a little bit brown before we put our cauliflower in there, because that's going to give our cauliflower a nice browned butter taste, kind of like pasta. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 cups of riced cauliflower. Sometimes it's called cauliflower pearls, but anyway, it's about this consistency, and of course you can do that yourself, but they do sell it packaged in quite a few grocery stores now. So this just kind of toasts and softens our cauliflower at the same time. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but you do want your cauliflower just slightly cooked before we put it in the oven and layer the rest of our ingredients. So at this point, we're going to turn our burner down a little bit. I had it on about medium high. So now I'm going to turn it down to about medium low. And I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of, I'm going to use half and half. You can use half and half, you can use heavy cream, whatever you want. We're just using such a small amount that it's up to you. So we only need about 1/4 cup. And then I'm going to add about 4 ounces of cheddar cheese. So it's about half of our bag of cheese. And about 4 ounces of our mozzarella cheese. Because in the original recipe, it called for using a box of macaroni and cheese, and that's not very ketogenic. So we're making a faux macaroni and cheese layer with our cauliflower and our cheeses. And this is going to provide the bottom layer of our pizza mac and cheese casserole. So you can see that it's turning into this yummy, cheesy, gooey mess, just like traditional macaroni and cheese. And I am going to salt and pepper this. Just using some pink Himalayan salt. And some black pepper. Okay, so that is done, and we are going to put it in our casserole dish. Okay, so I have greased this casserole dish, and it is 2.5 quarts. And I am just going to make this lovely faux mac and cheese layer at the bottom. And we're going to set that aside a minute. And we are going to return to our ground beef, green pepper, and onion mixture. So in there, I am going to add 1 jar of pizza sauce, and the Great Value is very low in carbs. That's a Walmart brand. It's one of the lowest pizza sauces in carbs. And I'm just gonna pour that in our bowl. And even though this pizza sauce is of course seasoned to make it Italian or pizza-like, I always like to add just a little bit more to really make sure that the ground beef has a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning. And of course you can do this or omit it. And I'm also going to add some salt because our ground beef didn't have any seasoning on it. And I'm also going to put a little bit of garlic powder. And then I'm just gonna stir this all around, and I'm going to have my sneeze. Excuse me, love that pepper. So we've got our saucy mixture all ready to go. So we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna add 1 more ingredient. So we're also going to put a small can of sliced black olives. And if you don't care for olives, then of course you can omit that. But realistically, you can use any kind of pizza ingredients that you and your family enjoy. I just think that the black olives give it a little something special. So now we're gonna set that aside and bring back our faux mac and cheese layer. And to this, we are going to put some pepperoni slices. So I just have the Hormel here, and you can put however much pepperoni you'd like. I'm just going to lay it out nicely to cover our pretend macaroni and cheese. Our healthier macaroni and cheese alternative, I guess would be the way to say it. Use Italian sausage instead of ground beef if you wanted to. You could of course put bacon or Canadian bacon, anything that you like on your pizza. Salami, capricola. You could add other vegetables too if you liked. Okay, so we're pretty covered with pepperoni. Then I find that it's actually easiest to take our ground beef mixture here and just pour the cheeses in and stir them. Then you get cheese evenly through the entire casserole. But of course you could sprinkle it on the top if that's what you preferred. But I think it gets in the casserole a bit more evenly if you stir it in. And then you don't really get that hard, crunchy layer on the top when you bake it. But if that's something that you enjoy, by all means, go ahead and do that. So then we're just going to put our ground beef mixture over the top. Smooth it over that pepperoni layer. You can see all that yummy cheese in there, waiting to get ooey and gooey. Okay, so she is ready to go in the oven. And we are going to put this in a 350-degree oven, and it's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven, of course. So we'll see you back then. Look at that. So here's how it is, fresh out of the oven. You can see all the delicious toppings. That's why I kind of like sprinkling the cheese inside so that it's not just one thick layer of cheese. But if you prefer that, then absolutely go for it. But I like it mixed in like that. And it's best if you let it sit for a little while, of course, before you start to serve it so it can solidify. And with almost all true casseroles, the next day it's even better. Hi CJ, it's time for another delicious meal, casserole, your favorite. So tonight we have a keto pizza mac and cheese.
Okay. Keto pizza mac and cheese.
Yes.
So let's see how this
And
is.
it's hot.
It's hot.
That's what she said.
No, it's good. It's really good, really flavorful. And I think people will like this. I think people who aren't even on keto will like this.
I think so, and I think you could get your children to eat it
I
pretty
think
easily.
right, and I can't tell it's cauliflower in here at all. You can't.
It takes on the flavor of the cheese
Yeah, you
and the
can't.
Italian.
You can't tell that there's. In fact, I don't think you can tell there's any kind of vegetable in here. So yeah, it's really good. I think people will really like it. Everybody, your entire family. Good job, baby.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you end up liking this pizza casserole as much as our family does, and that it will become a favorite. Please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you know when we upload new content. We have new recipes every Sunday, and we also have ketogenic conversations on Wednesdays. So if you would like to learn more about keto foods, talk about keto foods, make keto foods, this is definitely the place for you. If you need any further information about the recipe, macros, other recipe ideas, that can always be found on our blog, and that's CjsKetoKitchen.com. And if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, a lot of times we give teasers for next week's recipe. So we hope to see you next time on CJ's Keto Kitchen. Bye.